Fantastic film.
Well, thank you.
Who do you voice in Wreck-It Ralph?
I play the voice of Wreck-It Ralph himself, the main character of the story, who lives in a video game called Fix-It Felix Jr. And what he does is smashes buildings for his job. That's what he does every day. He gets up, someone puts a quarter into the machine, and his job is to wreck this building. And if you play the game called Fix-It Felix Jr., which is the game within the movie, you operate this little guy named Fix-It Felix, and he goes around with a little magic hammer and tries to undo the damage that Ralph does before the whole building gets destroyed. So our movie is about what happens behind the scenes in these video games, Ralph's game and other games. And what do these people do on their downtime? What do these characters do on their downtime? And it turns out that Wreck-It Ralph has become really kind of bored and unhappy in his life. He's treated as the bad guy in his game because he is the bad guy. None of the other characters in the game like him really. They're all afraid of him. So he just decides, you know what? I want people to like me. I want to be a hero. I want to be the good guy. So he decides one day to do this forbidden thing, which is to leave his game by way of the power cord, go down into the surge protector where all the other games are plugged in, go into the power cord of another game and start searching for a way to become a heroic person in these other games. And it's much more than he bargained for. He gets into these crazy, like, alien war games and this insane kind of candy racing game called Sugar Rush. And that's where Ralph meets his first real friend in the movie, played by Sarah Silverman. And her character is this odd little girl who lives in the game Sugar Rush, named Vanellope von Sweets.
And what's another step?
How's that for an answer? It's pretty long.
It's very full. On Ralph's adventure, who are some of the other characters he meets besides Vanellope?
Well, the first game he mistakenly stumbles into is this game called Call of Duty because he heard that you can win a medal there, and he thinks, well, if I win a medal, then they'll think I'm a hero. Everyone will pat me on the back and be my friend. So he just goes to this game, and then once he gets there, he realizes it's this crazy kind of post-apocalyptic alien space bug first-person shooter war game. And he's like Fred Flintstone or something. He's like completely unprepared for that world. And it's much more violent and scary than anything he's been used to in his own game. So he bumbles his way through that game, manages to get, well, I don't want to give it away, but he partially completes his quest in that game, but then he gets ejected out of that game and ends up in this other game called Sugar Rush, where he meets this little girl who's also in a tight spot, who's also kind of like a not very well-liked character in her game, and they kind of see each other and realize, like, I kind of need your help, and you kind of need my help, and, well, all right, kid. And they develop this kind of really cute kind of older brother, younger sister friendship. And, so he meets this hard-as-nails sergeant in the space bug game called Sergeant Calhoun, which is the character that Jane Lynch does the voice for. And then in his own game, Fix-It Felix Jr., Jack McBrayer, America's sweetheart, Jack McBrayer from 30 Rock, plays Fix-It Felix Jr., who's this sweet little guy who's just has really good manners, and he's like kind of a goody two-shoes. And then, I think those are the main people I meet. And then along the way, I go to this kind of Bad Guys Anonymous meeting to try to feel better about myself, where people like, Zangief and, the ghosts from Pac-Man and zombies, all these different famous villains from other classic video games are there.